Hello beautiful people, thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-June 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Virgo. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly and you'll be notified when I post future videos. Additionally, totally fine if you find this video a few days before the middle of the month, a few days after the middle of the month. You could even find it 2 years from now, Virgo. You're going to find it when you need it and the messages will be relevant when you need it. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or a month. Column 2 is going to be a general look at the remainder of June. The third column is going to be money. We're going to take a look at love. And in the fifth and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guide, so something to carry into the end of June. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a crystal of the month for you, and a healing note. But let's see here. So pulling a summary card for what's wrapping up and coming to a close. So again, those last few weeks or month. We have the card Expectation. Expectation's a really, really pretty card to start with there. But I love when I see this because this is like things going beyond your expectations, things being better than you expected. So who doesn't love a few weeks that have been better than you expected, Virgo? But let's see what messages I have here for you. The first card that we have is the Sun card. The Sun card is probably by far the best card in the entire tarot deck. It's a card of material happiness, joyous outcomes, success. It really doesn't get better than this card. The next card that we have is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords has a couple different meanings, but the card, or the meaning that's coming through the most here that I'm seeing, Virgo, is that you had to make a decision. Anytime we have 2 of something on a card, so you see how we have the 2 swords here, oftentimes that indicates a decision, having to decide between 2 things. So it does seem like there's pretty significant decisions these last few weeks or month. And then we have the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords is an interesting card. It's a card of theft, betrayal, dishonesty, and oftentimes this person on the card is you, Virgo. So you see this person's picking up all the swords that they can and they're moving on. They're running away from the scenario. Not to say that you ran away from problems, that's not what that means, but this is like you've moved on. You've left the situation. So there could have been some theft, betrayal, dishonesty. Interestingly enough, even though there was something that wasn't that positive that happened, we're still living our best life with the Sun card. And we have the Expectation card up there saying that things were still better than expected. So reading back through here or clarifying this column, the first clarifier we have is the 5 of Swords. It definitely does seem like there was conflict with somebody, Virgo. The 5 of Swords is a card of not very good relationships. This is bully, theft, violence, abusive relationships, that kind of toxic relationship. I would say that that directly ties to that 7 of Swords that we talked about at the bottom here. That 7 of Swords, again, that theft, betrayal, dishonesty. But it's almost like this person left and the doors opened and the sun is there shining so bright and there's happiness and joy and success on the other side of whatever this conflict or relationship was. The next card that we have is the Magician. The Magician is a card of focus, creativity. It's about turning visions into reality. It's very inspired action. And whatever decision you made here with the 2 of Swords, it's like it opened the floodgates in the best possible way. Again, we open the door and the sun is shining so bright on the other side. The Magician saying you can have whatever you want. And then we have the 2 of Swords repeat here. So again, this is just indicating that there was some sort of decision. It could have definitely been the decision to walk away from this relationship or end this relationship or remove yourself from this relationship. But 2 of Swords twice, meaning there was definitely some decision that was made. Now, Virgo, let's take a look at our next column, which is just a general look at the next few weeks, so the remainder of June. We have the card Heat. I like the card Heat. So when things are moving, there's friction, and when there's friction, there's heat. So in a really roundabout way, The heat card is an indicator that things are starting to move. They're heating up. Things are getting going for you. So like to see that. Definitely expect some movement these next few weeks. But let's see what messages we have coming through here. Okay, nice spread for the next few weeks too. The first card that we have is the World card. The World card is the last card in the Major Arcana. It's a card of completing a goal or completing a lesson. It's quite literally the world going for full circle there. So think of completion. There's some sort of cycle, project, some sort of ending happening here. This can also be travel, so there could be some travel the next few weeks for you too, Virgo. The next card that we have is the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is a great money card. The Nine of Pentacles is luxury, self-sufficiency, financial gain. So all good things as it relates to money. So definitely some new money it seems to be, or some sort of financial gain going into the end of June. And at the bottom here we have the Fool card. So we're just talking with the World card. You have the last card in the Major Arcana, and now you have the first card in the Major Arcana. The Fool indicates fresh hope, taking chances, new path, adventure, beginning, which makes total sense. In order for us to have a new beginning, there has to be some sort of ending. So we are closing the chapter on something and starting a new chapter. And it sure seems that in this new chapter, there will be some financial benefits associated with it. But let's see. The first clarifying card we have for this column is the Ace of Swords. Anytime we have an ace card, it is a card of newness, Virgo. But with the Ace of Swords, this is typically new idea, new mental clarity. It's almost like you know what you want now from this new beginning. So it's really neat to see. But of course, with the World, then there has to be a new opportunity. So again, echoing that new beginning there. But it seems like you're very clear on what you want in this next chapter or this new beginning. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles again. For those of you who've watched my readings before, you know I love when this happens so much. It's like my favorite thing. I love when the universe gives the same card twice because it's like a very clear message, and it's like, I said what I meant. I meant what I said. So definitely echoing that message. Luxury, self-sufficiency, financial gain. Really good money cards going into the end of June here. Then at the bottom we have the Strength card. The Strength card is a card of self-love, unconditional love, self-respect, and it's also a card of courage. So with the Strength card, we have the lion on there, meaning courage. So be really brave. Be very bold going into this new opportunity with the Fool. This seems like it'll be a time where you're much happier with yourself. There's more self-respect in this new beginning. But again, be bold, be courageous going into this fresh new start. Now we're going to take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. Really anything money related, Virgo. I already talked about money. You can't really get better than the Nine of Pentacles when it comes to money, but let's see what we have here. First card being the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a very resourceful card. I always like this because it's like you're being resourceful with the resources you have. So overall, a really good money card with the Queen of Pentacles. The next card that we have is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of needing to rest, retreat, renew, recover. This can be a very tired card, and oftentimes when I see the Four of Swords in this column, it's like an indicator that you'll be very busy with work. So do make sure that you don't let yourself burn out these next few weeks because it does feel busy. Then at the bottom we have the Magician card. The Magician card is a card of focus, creativity. It's turning visions into reality. It's very inspired action. The Magician quite literally has it all. They have a pentacle, a cup, a sword, a wand. They have the infinity sign here. So whatever you want as it relates to your career or money, you are capable of obtaining that for yourself, Virgo. So don't ever lose sight of that. But two really good money cards. Again, the Magician saying you can have whatever you want, and the Queen of Pentacles saying that you're making good money choices, you're being resourceful. We like to see that. The first clarifier we have is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a very supportive card, It is a card of leader. It's also about being very tolerant and empathetic. Some of you could be in a leader role or possibly moving into a leadership role these next few weeks. So do keep an eye out for that. But this is like being tolerant too and being empathetic as well. But this is more like you need to do this for yourself. So again, with that Four of Swords, that being very tired, I get to this point that you've been very tolerant, but you also need to be empathetic for yourself and acknowledge when you're tired, Virgo. You can't do it all the time. The next clarifier we have is the Judgment card. The Judgment card, anytime we have this, Virgo, is a card that's favorable for you. It's a card of clarity. It's a card of making a final decision. This seems silly, but I feel like you're realizing just how tired you are, Virgo, or that you need more rest, or your workload may be too heavy, may be too light, but it will be well received too. So like if you do ask for help or ask for more work or whichever way it may be, it's not like it's going to be frowned upon. It does seem like you're in a very supported situation as well. But it's just like I feel like there's clarity coming of how tired you are. Like you didn't realize you were burned out and you sat down on the couch and you're like, dang, I'm really tired. Like that's kind of that aha moment of needing a little bit of rest there. Then at the bottom we have the Sun card. We had the Sun card earlier in this reading, I believe. Again, it really doesn't get much better than the Sun card. That's that material happiness, joyous outcome, success. So whatever you want, again with the Magician, and then you have the Sun here saying, yeah, it's going to be successful. So whatever you want financially, whatever you want career-wise, Virgo, you absolutely can obtain for yourself. Now moving into our next column, anything related to love, so think family, friends, relationships, children, whatever that you associate with love. The first card that we have is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is like one of the best love cards out there. This is truly that like Prince or Princess Charming type energy. It's that knight in shining armor. It's very romantic and very proposal-like. So if you are hoping to get engaged, this is a great card for you. If you're in a relationship, this is a good indicator of the person that you're in a relationship with too, so very healthy. If you're single and wanting to get into a relationship, we love the Knight in Shining Armors. This person is like going to show up and be Prince or Princess Charming, which is really neat. The next card we have is the Emperor card. The Emperor is another really good card to have in our love column. It's about strategic planning. It's a long term. So again, if you're in an existing relationship or entering into a new relationship, this is speaking to the length, the health, the longevity of the relationship. The Emperor is also very much so a father type card, and not necessarily attaching genders here, but if you're hoping to expand your family, so looking for pregnancy or fertility, the Emperor is a really good indicator for you. Then at the bottom we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is an interesting card. It's really a gossipy card. It's a card of like trying to find out truth. It's like snooping through somebody's phone or trying to overhear a conversation. It seems like you're seeking truth on something this month, or possibly if you're in a relationship, your spouse is seeking truth. We're going to clarify that though, but it's like somebody's trying to find something out here. The first card that we have is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of patience, hard work, delayed success, waiting. If you look at this person, they planted these pentacles and now they're just like sitting there waiting for them to grow. So I do feel like some of you have been waiting for the next step in your relationship, that engagement, that proposal, that marriage, or even just waiting to get into a relationship. Like maybe you just haven't found the one. But it does feel like there is some waiting behind this Knight of Cups. So again, waiting for that next step in the relationship or waiting to enter a relationship in general. The next card that we have is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very confident, very self-assured. More than anything, this is tying to that Page of Swords that we were just talking about. It's almost like I feel like there's something you're insecure about, Virgo, and that you're seeking the truth on. This is a reminder to be confident, self-assured, but this is also about communication too. So if there's something you're trying to find the truth out on, it's almost like best to go ask than try and go looking, if that makes sense. So take that how it resonates. Then at the bottom we have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is again that very resourceful card we were talking about. But in addition to being resourceful, this is a card of domestic. So this is another really good indicator of engagement or marriage. This is also very much so a card of fertility. So another great indicator for those of you hoping to expand your family. Now we're going to take a look at our fifth and final column, which is again that message from our future self or spirit guide, so something to carry into the month of June with you. We have the card Center. I like being centered. Centered is a good place to be, Virgo. This is balance. This is harmony. This is like good work-life balance for you as well. This is being connected to yourself. It's very present, mindful, all around good energy there. But let's see what messages we have for you in this column. The first card we have is the Queen of Wands. We just had the Queen of Wands a second ago. This is again about being confident and being very self-assured. I don't really have much for you outside of, as you go into these next few weeks, be confident in yourself, and there's a possibility that you'll need to self-assure yourself a little bit, but more than anything, be confident in you. The next card that we have is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card sometimes of feeling unfulfilled. You see this person kind of sitting under the tree with their arms crossed. They're not really the most excited. The other meaning of this card, which is wildly opposite, we look at this fourth cup here. This is a card of surprise gifts. So you could be getting a gift going into the end of the month that you weren't anticipating. So it's really fun. I always like to see those surprise gift cards. Could be flowers, dinner, could be a bonus at work, some sort of surprise gift though. And then at the bottom we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is a very romantic card. It's a card of love, partnership, proposal, marriage. That definitely is keeping coming up here for you. So if you would like to enter into a relationship, this is a great card for you. If you'd like to get engaged or marriage, really, really good card. So all around, love is coming through pretty strong here for you this month. So let's see what other messages we have. We have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is an interesting card. It's a card of loss, regret, feeling abandoned. I want to say this. So Virgo, I apologize if this comes out wrong, because of course I don't ever mean it that way. But it's almost like you're feeling a certain way, but it's you kind of like making up this scenario. It may not be reality. And I'm guilty of this. I'm not finger pointing by any means. Like sometimes I think about all the what ifs or like have these made up scenarios, and it's like those are kind of the things that are bothering you, but it may not actually be reality. It could be just thoughts that are hurting your own feelings. So do be cautious of that. And I think that's where that self-assurance is really coming in, because it's almost like these are your thoughts, maybe not actually the things that are happening around you. So if you can stay out of that what if zone, you'll be much happier going into the end of June here. The next card that we have is the Ten of Cups. For those of you that have watched my readings before, you know the Ten of Cups is my favorite card in the entire deck. We have a nice full rainbow here, a happy couple, kids playing, the grass is green, there's water running, there's a house in the background. So of course, if you want a relationship, children, a great indicator for you. Overall, the Ten of Cups is a card of family, contentment, total love, and support. For those of you that are feeling that lack of fulfillment, be ready for that shift, because you go from feeling unfulfilled to the polar opposite with the Ten of Cups, which is like complete happiness, bliss, contentment. Then last but not least, we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is a really fun card. It's very free-spirited. It's very creative. When I see the Knight of Wands, it like is freedom. You're really, really going to enjoy this relationship or the next step in this relationship. Freedom is an interesting thought when we're thinking in a relationship, but again, it's like you're just going to jive so well with this person and be so happy in these next stages. So that's neat to see there, Virgo. Now we're going to take a look. I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the 2 of spades. This is number 34 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 3, we have the ace of hearts. This is the number 11 card. That's going to be a no. And for question number 3, we have the king of hearts. This is number 24 card. That's going to be a yes. So we have yes, no, yes for you, Virgo. We're also going to take a look at your crystal of the month. So we pulled a card from the Healing Stone deck earlier this month. So this is a crystal to support you throughout the month of June. Virgo, you had agate, which is good for retreat, calm, stability. And it really helps protect you from outside influences. And last but not least, we're going to pull a healing note here. Your healing note says, live your life from your heart, share from your heart, and your story will touch and heal people's souls. Thank you so much, Virgo, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post videos in the future. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you again, Virgo, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of June.